My name is Calis Vaughn. I'm a first-year student from Madison Heights, Michigan, studying history and sociology. On campus, I'm involved in the Center for Leadership as a student leadership assistant, in the University Activities Organization, and in the I'm a member of the 2017 cohort of the Sydney A. Remote President's Leadership Academy. So I'm going to start off today with a question. How many of you all have felt like you haven't fit in before? Just by a show of hands. Well, wonderful. So today, like you all, I share that feeling, and I've shared that my whole life. And so today, I'm going to talk to you all about fitting in. So it's basic human nature to have the desire to fit in. You want to find your place. You don't want to be an outcast, and you don't want to be that one person that doesn't fit in with anybody. So Dorothy Kuzman once said, "I spent so long trying to fit in, trying to be something I wasn't, I had no idea who I was anymore." This quote really describes me as a child. I never felt like I fit in, no matter how many friends I had, how many extracurricular activities my parents put me in, or how hard I focused on school. I just didn't seem to fit in. And this was always a problem that I felt and something that haunted me all throughout my childhood. I can remember many nights when I would come home and ask my mom, why don't I just fit in? Why am I not like the other kids? And she would always say, it's okay if you don't fit in, not everyone does, be uniquely you. At the time, I didn't understand what she was saying, nor did I want to hear it. I just wanted to be like the other kids and fit in and find my clique. It would take until this year, my first year of college, to really understand what she was saying and take it to heart. So once I graduated high school, I realized that the connections and the friendships that I had weren't as genuine or meaningful as I thought they were. Yes, those people were my friends for 4 years, and in some cases since kindergarten, but I knew we wouldn't be friends for the rest of our lives, and it was something that I was okay with. I had also come to the realization that some people fit in, some people didn't, and I was one that didn't, and that was okay. I would just have to live with it for the rest of my life. That's until I got into the President's Leadership Academy and had 23 built-in friends. I thought that since we were in this cohort together and we had similar goals, values, dreams, and ideas, we would be together for 4 years and hopefully a lifetime, experiencing everything, especially college together, getting to know one another, and I'd be finally fitting in. Well, after a few months into the semester, I realized that this was not necessarily the case. Of course, I love these people, and they were my friends, and I had genuine, strong, authentic connections with them, but that didn't mean that I fit in with them. So I was back to square one, in a group full of people who were extremely similar to who I am, and still standing out and feeling as if I don't belong. So that's when, at the end of last semester and the beginning of this semester, I decided to do something about it and to kind of see who I was and see who I wanted to become. So I started off by distancing myself from my friends a little bit, so like I said, I could find who I wanted to be and my purpose here on BGSU's campus. I started off by joining a new organization, UAO, and taking on some leadership roles there. I applied to be an SLA, and then to my surprise, became an SLA. And then most importantly, I focused on the reason I was here, to get an education and improve my life so that I can start my career. When I was doing this, I realized that I was not only doing meaningful work that I was proud of, but it was authentic to who I was, it represented me as a person, and it's something that I wanted to share with the world and finally could start using to make a mark on this campus. I also realized that I wasn't worried about fitting in anymore. I didn't care what people thought, I didn't care if they liked me, or if they thought that I was similar to them, it didn't matter to me. And this is when what my mom had been saying to me over 18 years finally made sense, and I finally started to appreciate it. It's more important to find your place in this world and to fulfill your purpose than it is to fit into a group of people. So what I mean by finding your place is the place where you can grow the most, you can help others, you can encourage others, and be the authentic you, and live a congruent life to what you value. I also, at this time, realized that I had been doing this my entire life. In elementary school, I would stay after school and help my teachers with whatever they needed in their classroom. In high school, it was helping my favorite teacher, who then became my mentor and a friend, with whatever she needed so her life was easier. At work, it was taking on extra shifts when we were short-staffed and there was no one to help out my manager. And in my family, most importantly, it was doing my best and being independent so that no one had to worry about me. Like I said before, I had been doing this my whole life and just was so consumed about fitting in, I never realized it. So once I stopped worrying about fitting in and really focused on finding my place and my purpose, I saw a lot of growth in myself, and I had these things that I'd been growing in these areas for a while, I just didn't realize it. So the first one is in my relationships. They had grown a tremendous amount. I had never valued a friendship or a connection that I had with my friends now more than I did currently. These were people that I loved and that I want to spend the rest of my life with and can't imagine growing old without them. Also, I had found that I had started to reflect on my own values a little bit more. I had also realized that in the short time I was in college that they had changed and grown, and that I was okay with that, and that that was something that was going to happen, and it was fine. As I said before, I was doing some intentional reflection and seeing if I was living a congruent life to my values and if my actions matched them. I also took that into the organizations that I was involved in. I didn't want to just be a part of something to say I was a part of it, but I wanted to be something that I believed in and that aligned with my passions, my goals, and my values. So doing this, as I said, it impacted my leadership. The first area is in like UAO, for example. After only being a member for a semester, I went in and took a leadership role, which if I was concerned about fitting in or worrying about what other people thought, I probably would have never done. Another thing is just becoming an SLA. Old Cali that was worried about what other people thought would have never had the courage or the confidence to go up in front of a room and talk to people as her job and enjoy doing it and then come back for a second year to do it. That was just too far out of her comfort zone. And also it was in that role challenging myself to do as much work as I can and help others and be as productive as I possibly could. This led to me, as I said earlier and kind of touched on, stepping outside of my comfort zone. I was trying new things, starting to talk to new people, and just doing things that I would have never done before I learned this valuable lesson. Another big thing was me finding my passion and finding how I wanted that to be involved in my life. So I identified that I was passionate about social justice, but I didn't know what to do with that. So it took a lot of intentional reflection and reflecting on where I could fulfill my purpose in that area to find out that I wanted it to be a part of my career and everything that I did, and I wanted it to be seen in my lifestyle. I decided I was tired of just talking the talk, and I actually wanted to walk the walk and embody who I said I was. So one of the most important things that I think came out of this lesson was that I started to embrace my differences. That doesn't matter how different my beliefs were, my values, or my opinions, the way I think, the way I talked, or even the way I dressed. I started to be confident in who I was and realized that either people were going to accept me or they weren't, and that was fine either way. I was just going to be me. So, like I said, it took me a long time, 18 years, to realize that it was more important to find my place in the world and to fulfill a purpose than to fit in with a group of people. And sometimes these things can happen at the same time, but sometimes they don't. And either way, it's fine. But once I did that, I was able to grow and to become, I think, the best version of me that I've ever been. And I hope to continue to live this congruent life where I am living my values and my beliefs and my morals. And yes, there may be times in my life where I want to fit in or I have the urge to be around the crowd, and that's okay, but I'll try to come back to this place I am now and do some intentional self-reflection to see how I got there. So I want to leave you all with a couple of challenges. The first part of it is to kind of assess and see, are you trying to fit in with the crowd, or are you really fulfilling your purpose in life and finding that place where you can be the most productive and most successful? And then after that, kind of deciding if what you think is your purpose is really your purpose, and you may not know because I still don't know, and it may take me years to find out, but it's important to at least start thinking about it and to start reflecting on it. So thank you all for listening.